With this True Blue salute, I'm Alex Makovicka. We're joined by Noah Miller of the Hampton FFA Chapter to talk about a couple of cool things, Noah, that you get to dip your toes in while you were involved in the FFA program. We're going to start with the hawk herd. That's something that your chapter is certainly known for. What is the hawk herd? What is it that you guys do?
So the hawk herd is a way to get students involved in animals if they don't have the ability to at home. So it teaches kids to be like responsible, making sure you feed every day, even if we do get snow or through the days that we don't have school, they should still show up and be able to feed and know what they have to do to take care of animals, essentially.
Okay, so walk us through the day to day and how livestock production is tied to student members.
So day to day, every Tuesday we mix feed for the beef that we raise. We currently have two feeders that we are feeding out. One is almost ready to go in, and then the other will be a few months yet for our school lunch program that we donate to the program. That way we can have hawk beef at our school. So we mix feed for them, and it's 25 pounds of corn, and then some minerals and all that essential stuff for the cattle to survive. And then we make sure their bunk is full of hay. That way they get all the nutrients from the hay in the colder months to help them survive and thrive.
Okay, a great hands-on learning opportunity.
Yep.
What would you say for the students who maybe have never had that experience? What are their outcomes of that?
Their outcomes are learning how to be responsible in the future, like waking up every day. Like you have to wake up every day to get to school on time and feed them and make sure they get fed. Like in the future, you're going to have to wake up every day, go to your job. That way you don't get fired and all that good stuff.
Okay, the practical questions in me are coming out. Where are these cattle currently being raised? Is there a spot near the school?
There is a spot. So we have our football field on the north side of our school. And then just west of the football field, we have a pen that in the past we built with ag classes. And then we actually raised the cattle on the west side of our football field.
Okay, and then when it comes to processing, is there a place in Hampton to process? Do you guys process?
So there's not a place in Hampton to process. And with us giving the meat to our lunch program, we have to do FDA certified facilities. So we go to Henderson Meats that way because they are FDA certified.
Okay. I imagine, Noah, that even beyond the FFA members who are involved in this, it sounds like this is a great opportunity to teach beef production and show just other kids in the school, elementary all the way through high school. Is that fair?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. What kind of projects do you guys do then with the school?
So we every like when we host our FFA week, we have like a petting zoo type thing that we let the students come out and we teach them what we need to do to keep the cattle alive and how we feed them. And then sometimes if the cattle are tame enough, then they get up close to the fence and then the cattle come like lick their hands or something like that.
Okay, that's Noah Miller of the Hampton FFA Chapter. We're talking about the Hampton Hawk Herd. That's just one component of this conversation. I want to switch gears because you and I were chatting about your supervised agricultural experience. And boy, did it shock me when you told me what it was, Noah. Share the details.
So I raise crickets in my basement that my mom has allowed me to use and utilize for raising crickets. It's my business name is Chirp Valley Crickets because crickets chirp and we're kind of in a valley-ish type place. So I named the business Chirp Valley Crickets, and I got a grant through the Nebraska FFA Foundation to start raising crickets. So I put together a spreadsheet and list of stuff that I needed to purchase and then submitted that. And so I have all the materials that I can use to raise crickets. So it's like a rack with 5 shelves, and you can put 2 16-quart totes on the shelves to put, and each tote holds about 100 to 150 crickets. And so that's 150 times 10 and then times 2 because I have 2 racks. So yeah.
Okay, I'd be lying if I said my skin wasn't crawling just a little bit, but there is a purpose behind raising these crickets. What do you do with them?
So once the crickets reach 4 to 6 weeks old, which is when they mature or start chirping, because they don't chirp before that, I put them in a Ziploc bag to freeze them. That way they don't hop around in the oven when I sterilize and bake them to grind them into the flour that I use. And I bake them at 150 degrees at 200 degrees for about an hour or two, and then that'll like sterilize them, get all the diseases and stuff off of them. And then I put them in a nut grinder to grind them into this flour, and hopefully that it gets finely chopped. That way I can Ziploc seal it and put it in the freezer, or use it to make cookies or brownies or tortillas, other pastry like things that you would use regular flour for. It's just a substitute with higher protein.
Noah, I've never met your mom, but she is a saint for letting you use her kitchen for those sorts of things.
Yeah.
That is so cool. What do you have to do to raise a cricket? What does that process look like?
So to raise a cricket, I order them off Fluker Farms, which you can order about 1,000 for $14.90. I order 2,000 at one time, so it's a discount. So it's like $21.80 or something like that. And then I put them in the 16 quart totes, divide them up evenly, and then I feed them broiler food, which is like the meat production or meat bird food, because that is high in protein. So if you want something to end up with high protein, then you want to feed them higher protein.
Okay, I'm learning so much in this process, Noah, but
Yep.
as you reflect on your Chirp Valley Crickets SAE project, what have you learned so far?
I've learned that maintenance is key, and time management, because you got to know when to get ready to order the crickets, how long it'll take you to clean the totes and sterilize them before the next batch. And then maintenance, because like you got to clean them. Time management, order them. That way they don't come before the crickets that you currently have are ready to go out.
Well, Noah, you are a great example proving that the FFA organization is not simply here in Nebraska. We think cattle, corn, soybeans certainly extends far beyond that. For people wanting to maybe get involved in the FFA organization, what's your advice to maybe those younger members?
Stick with the challenging things. What's challenging helps you in the future, because you'll learn to problem solve and how to be like responsible. It's not just like what happens now, it'll relate to your future career.
Excellent. Noah, what else is important to mention that we didn't have a chance to touch on?
Not much.
Okay. It's been fascinating to talk with you. That's Noah Miller of the Hampton FFA Chapter, talking about a couple projects he's involved in, the Hampton Hawk Herd and Chirp Valley Crickets, his SAE project. With this True Blue salute, I'm Alex Makovicka.